Hello and welcome back to the channel. And what's caught my eye in the classifieds today? Well, once again, I think I've got something which is just that little bit special. And it's not just a good car. I think it's a great car. And I'll tell you why it's a great car when we actually take a look at it. So let's get straight into it. There we go. It's a 1979 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. If I said what's the first thing that most people associate with the Pontiac Firebird, I think the answer would probably be Smokey and the Bandit. I suppose it did the same for the Firebird as the Back to the Future did for the DeLorean, but there's much more to the Firebird than this. I remember them from the early 70s television series, the Rockford Files. James Garner played Jim Rockford, a private investigator, and he drove a Firebird in copper mist, which is a very similar colour to this one. And I remember Eric Estrada, he had one in Chips, California Highway Patrol. Again, and it was in this gold colour, which I like it very much. I think it really suits the car well. I think this car may be finished in solar gold, but please correct me if I'm wrong. And to me, that phoenix on the bonnet speaks volumes, and it's instantly recognisable. I just love the phoenix on the bonnet. I think they're absolutely brilliant. And I can't remember which programme it was I saw. I don't know whether it was Kindig Customs or it may have been Count's Customs. It was one of those American car programmes. And they actually didn't put the transfers on. They actually painted it all on. And obviously with lots of layers of different lacquers and what a fantastic job they made of it. But yeah, that is one of the most interesting features on a car bonnet I think I've ever seen. This model was restyled from 1979, and apparently in the Rockford files, I understand that there was no Firebird used past 1978, reputedly because James Garner didn't like the restyled front from the Bandit style. Now, as far as trim levels were concerned, you had the base model Firebird, the Esprit, the Formula, and the top of the range Trans Am. And as well as having the shaker hood, look at those fender flares, which I believe were only available on the Trans Am. Look at that interior. That interior looks nice. Now, have you seen yet what makes this car special? There's your answer. If you don't like left-hand drive cars, that's the perfect alternative, and you don't get many American cars that are in right-hand drive. This one apparently was delivered new to the GM dealer in Hong Kong, and before the owner took delivery of it, it was converted to right-hand drive, so that makes it extremely rare. That interior looks lovely. That really does look nicely kept. And you'll see it's got the shaker hood, and it's got an Oldsmobile 403 cubic inch engine, 6.6 litres of it. And that was introduced in order to meet the tighter emissions regulations that some states had. And it also meant that they were still able to offer the power ratings that they wanted to. Now that's an interesting view, to actually look at those dials in that in amongst the rev counter you've got a clock. And the lights, I believe, were restyled for 1979 so that they went all the way across the back, as far as I understand. Isn't that gorgeous? And you'll see it's got the Fisher T-tops as well. I didn't say, but it's got Fisher T-tops. So, yeah, another great feature for you. What a fantastic looking car, isn't it? I bet that has a nice sound to it when you start that. Oh, look at them backlights. Right, they certainly do look so much better when you see them like that. Fantastic. Very smart. That's a nice car, is that? I like that very much. And that looked nice in the sun, eh? God, I love the colour. Um, as I said, the one that Jim Rockford had in the Rockford Files and the one that Eric Estrada had, very similar colour to this. And I always thought it was a very pleasing colour. And I know a lot of people would probably go for the Smokey and the Bandit one. And yes, don't get me wrong, they look nice. Yeah, I wouldn't say no. And I've seen other colours that look nice in them as well. I've seen a nice red and a nice primrose yellow. But I do like this colour and I like it very much. I think it really suits the car. And it's typical as well of its period, a 70s period colour. I love the colour, I really do. I think it really is something rather splendid. Well, I think that's absolutely gorgeous. So let's go and have a look at the advert and see what else the advert tells us. So we know it's a 79 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. It's an original right-hand drive, 48,000 miles, 3-speed automatic, highly original matching numbers Pontiac Firebird. That's what you want. Top of the range Trans Am spec. Exceedingly rare in right-hand drive. Well, you can't disagree with that, can you? Rarer still, having been converted to right-hand drive by the GM dealer in Hong Kong before being delivered to its first owner in 1979. And the car's only been in the ownership of 3 families, with a second cherishing the car for more than 30 years, always garaged, rarely seen rain, maintained regardless of cost. And it shows. It is. It's a nice car. Retrimmed seats. That's why the looks are good. They do look well. A slightly more vocal exhaust system. It's what you expect, isn't it? You expect that with you'd be a little bit disappointed actually if you didn't get that with an American car, wouldn't you? And particularly something like the Trans Am. I mean, don't expect to be some sort of shrinking violet in a car like this because you won't be. So, if you're one of those people who don't like to be noticed, it won't be the car for you. Right, well, I'm going to say once again, thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've found it informative. And if you've got anything you want to say, please do so in the comments box. If there's something I've got wrong, please do tell me. I would be interested to know. And if you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. As I understand, it does help the channel grow. And until next time, thanks again and take care.